Today I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to my tomato plants here. As you can see, I have 4 that are growing in these small pots, and they're getting a little floppy because these are a vining type of tomato, and I want to keep them upright. And part of the staple necessity that I keep in the garden are bamboo sticks. So I've got 4 with me. I have the this green tape and a pair of scissors. These scissors are actually from my kids' school. You know, we have to buy one every year for school supplies, and this came home and I just use it in my garden now. So I have 4 that I'm actually going to just stake and hopefully keep upright and straight until I can find these a new home. I grew too many, so they're staying in these small pots. I'm hoping to keep it dwarfed a little bit just to lengthen my growing season. So here we go. I'm going to take my first pot and I'm going to stick it as close to the edge of the pot because I don't want to disturb any of the roots. So I'm just going to jam it in just like that and get myself a piece of this green tape. It's not sticky and it's elastic, so it's got some give, and I like to wrap it where the tape is actually flush with the stem, so I'm not tying the knot right at the stem, and because I don't want it to scar. I don't want it to scar the root. So I'll tie it. I'll just do 2 ties against the bamboo stick, just like that. And I've got a little give here, so I'm not pressing the stem against the bamboo stick. And now it's secure. So if there's any wind, as it has been a little windy here lately, it should hold up. So I'm just going to do this next one. Grab my bamboo stick and find an edge. Here we go. You see this one's got a little fruit. Get some green tape. This one's a little bit farther, so I'm going to cut a little bit longer so I can bring this closer to the bamboo stick. Just like that. Pull it a little bit tighter, and I can stick my finger through that space so it's not too tight. And that one is secure. So I'm going to go and do these 2 over here. And there you have it. We staked 4 tomato plants. The next thing I'm going to show you is pulling out the suckers of this variety of tomato plants. This variety of tomato plants is an indeterminate variety, which means there is no determined height that the tomato will grow. So it's indeterminate. And for the indeterminate variety, you do want to take out these suckers. They are just literally sucking the life out of the tomato plant when we really want the life, the nutrients to go to the flowers to produce the fruit. And we want to give it the best chance to be healthy and growing the way we want it to. So I'm going to show you how we're going to take off the suckers. Here we have this Sun Gold tomato that is growing in a relatively small pot, and as I said, I'm going to show you how I'm going to remove the suckers, and I'm going to show you what the suckers look like and how I remove them. No tools needed, just your fingers. So if we start at the top here and we look at this branch, here's the stem. This is where the flowers are, and then here's another branch right here. Just in the middle is a little sucker. Just that right there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just pinch it off just like that, and it's gone. I'm going to keep scanning. I'm going to go down and around and look for any more suckers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it, and I can already spot one more right there. That's just growing in between the notches of the stem and a branch. So just going to take that off just like that. I'm actually going to take off these lower stems and branches just because we don't need them. They're just taking away from the plant. And I'm going to go ahead and take him off too because this is yellow and ugly and I don't like it. So off he goes. Take that off. Take that off. So there we go. A clean, sucker-free Sun Gold tomato plant. Here I want to show you that sometimes you don't get around to pinching out those suckers soon enough, and they end up being really long and they end up having flowers, and then it's hard for you to pinch off because you feel so bad that it's grown so big, and that's fruit and you don't want to lose that fruit. Well, tomatoes are pretty awesome, and this was actually a sucker, a big sucker that I had taken off, and I just stuck it into the soil and it grew back. So essentially I propagated a tomato plant from a tomato plant, which is awesome. Nature is awesome. It looked pretty ragged and dead for the first couple of days, but as you can see here, it is growing. It does have flowers, and I got another tomato plant out of a sucker. So and there you have it. This is actually another sucker that had come off of another plant, and I stuck it in, and sure enough there are little fruits. So if you have let your suckers go and they're too big, you can still take them off and make new plants. How about that? Okay, and now this is another variety of tomato that I'm currently growing in my garden. This is a legend tomato. This is a determinate variety, not an indeterminate. So the indeterminate are my cherry tomatoes that are growing and will vine up a trellis or a bamboo stick. This case, this is the legend tomato. It's a determinate variety, which means there is a set determined height that it will grow to. And in this case, I do want to leave the suckers on because I want this determinate variety to produce as much as it can. And so I will leave the suckers on. So this is a sucker, there's a sucker, this right here is one big sucker. So I'm going to leave these on. And that's the difference between the determinate and indeterminate tomatoes and how we pinch or don't pinch. So just remember, indeterminate we do pinch, and for the determinate we do not pinch. And we're going to let them grow as much as we can.